It continues to burn this morning.
Yeah, it happened at the historic former Culp Weaver plant where there was another fire just more than a year ago. Taylor Leverett is live there now. Taylor, it appears firefighters are making progress.
Yeah, that's correct. They are making progress, but as you can see behind me, that building is still collapsed inward. Again, we were on the scene all morning for that large warehouse fire. So here's what we know is that the 911 call came in yesterday around 8 p.m. For that large warehouse fire, and the Graham Fire Department, as well as other multiple agencies, responded to the fire, fighting those flames. The fire department said that there were no reported injuries, but families were asked to evacuate to the Graham Rec Center. I had a chance to go by the Graham Rec Center and speak to one family that was there. It was a lady and her two dogs. Her name is Valerie. She told me, I also spoke to the rec center, who told me that there are about 5 to 6 families that actually came to the rec center after being displaced. Some of them have already gone back to their homes, except for Valerie, who said she believes her power is still out at the moment. She said she hasn't gotten any updates as to when she could go back to her home, but she said it was a chaotic scene this morning, walking out of her front door and seeing just flames. And she said you could literally feel the heat outside in her front yard. So she said it was a very scary situation, but she's glad her and her 2 dogs were safe. We tried to reach out to Fire Chief Tommy Cole. Haven't gotten any information yet. There is the Alamance County Emergency Management is on scene right now. Try to ask them some questions, but they're kind of directing everything to Fire Chief Tommy Cole. So right now we're going to keep you updated with information as it becomes available. But again, the most important thing is that there were no injuries to that large warehouse fire. And again, crews are still fighting it as of right now.
Yeah, Chief Cole up all night. He's been providing us information, so probably just now gathering resources and looking at the situation and what needs to happen next, because there are firefighters from Guilford County, Orange County here as well. It was a multiple agency response last night at the peak of this fire. It looks significantly better from what it was, but it's just interesting that a fire happened almost the same time last year at one of the smaller buildings on site, it appears, from what we've been seeing. Just so glad nobody was hurt.
Yes. Glad no one has been hurt. And as you said, they've been working on it since last night. It's just been amazing to see the developments in the short amount of time since we've been on the air. Since 4:30 this morning, I believe around 5 o'clock, we could still see some of those hot spots. So now just some of that lazy smoke. It's going to be interesting to find out what the exact cause of this fire was. I know when it caught fire last year, there was a lot of damage, and I know they were still using it partially for storage. I just wonder, you know, when the fire happened last year, why more wasn't probably done to prevent something like this from happening
Well,
again.
and it's such an old building. The codes are so different now than they were back then, so a lot of that wiring is probably outdated for sure.
A lot of nostalgia with that building. So many people used to work there, have memories there. This is a landmark in the Graham area. I do want to mention, I spoke with a representative for Alamance Burlington Schools because we had a question earlier about whether Cummings and Broadview would be going today as normal. Yes, operations are normal at this point for the entire school district, but some buses did have to reroute around the fire.
Yeah, and just in general, if you're driving through that area, probably get to work or to the store or something, want to take that alternate route as they work to get those flames under control.